the Unqualified Podcast. Whose name's gonna be first? I feel like this is where the group breaks back
He
up.
said you're in charge.
I'm not the leader. Go ahead and let's change that up.
You brought us here. You brought us together.
I did bring us here, but I don't want to be the leader. Always gets screwed over. You ever notice that? Unless it's Beyonce, the leader always gets screwed over.
Justin Timberlake.
We're
Justin
starting
Timberlake
new
wasn't
waves.
even
We're starting new waves. We're not gonna.
Justin Timberlake was not the leader of NSYNC, and that's how you know they got screwed over. JC was the leader of NSYNC. JC was the leader of NSYNC, and he got screwed over. Beyonce is the only one who did not get screwed over. Oh, and Gwen Stefani.
Harry Styles.
Was Harry Styles the leader? Yeah.
Yeah, he stood at the front of the triangle.
He was.
Some would say Zayn, but I disagree.
Yeah, I think Zayn should have definitely have been the leader, but he was not the leader. He was not the leader.
Because they were racist. My God, they're racist. Welcome to
What direction was
the
Unqualified, the podcast.
With your host, who's starting first?
With your host, Dayana.
Oh, like we
introduce
each other. We say each other's name.
Welcome to Unqualified, the podcast.
Whoop, whoop.
We're so happy that you guys are listening and tuning in today to our intro episode. Very excited.
Intro.
So we're going to introduce ourselves and talk about what we're going to be talking about.
Starting with the lovely lady across from me,
Hadassah Jones.
Yum.
Hello, guys. My name is Hadassah. I am currently a senior in college, a film and media major, and I like to talk about media. I love the entertainment industry. That's kind of why I wanted to go into film. In middle school, I would watch E! News every night at 7 p.m. So that's a little bit about me. And now we're going to turn it over to...
I hate introducing myself.
Right.
It feels so like I don't exist to who. But I guess I'll do it in this case. My name is Shaya. I am also a film and media major. I am a junior, maybe. I don't know.
Right. That's very real.
And I also love all things media. My life is consumed by media consumption, so I figure why not talk about it with people who can relate.
Yeah.
And that's it. And someone else, please speak.
Okay. I'll go last. My name is
Because you're the leader.
No.
The leader goes last.
Dayana. I'm gonna be the mysterious one. I'm not giving them any information. It'll hook them in more. I'll give little information, little bit by little bit.
If you want to know more about Day, you have to listen to episode 2.
You have to tune in. Yeah. So I'm the mysterious one. My major unknown. My year unknown. My last name unknown.
This isn't fair. No, we're not giving last names. They can find us.
I said my last name.
Well, they're gonna find you. They're gonna find you.
Yeah, I'm unknown. And there we go.
Very good.
I shouldn't even said Dayana. Should have said Day and called it.
You already
guys
too
forget
much
her name. That's not her real name.
Erase it from your memory.
Exactly. Day.
So,
just Day.
Welcome to Unqualified, the podcast. As you can see, we are 3 girls just talking about things that we're kind of, sort of unqualified to talk about.
Exactly.
Kind of, sort of.
Kind of, sort of.
Like, we study this in a way, and so we have some knowledge that, like, maybe other people, you basic hoes out there wouldn't know.
Exactly.
Sorry, that was aggressive. But
we are still currently learning.
And we also have
schools,
no idea what we're talking about ever.
Is in parentheses.
Mm-hmm.
And there we
So,
go.
yeah. So, like we said, we're going to be talking about media, film, music, tech, games, all of the above. And so with our first introductory episode, what do we want to start it off with? What are we feeling on this lovely Wednesday?
Should we revisit an earlier conversation? Should we talk about CW? We could talk about musicals, Disney Channel musicals. What are we doing?
I love decoms.
Should we?
I feel like we should talk about. Let's let the people know what we like before we start debating.
What's your taste? What do you generally look for when you are trying to watch a movie or listen to music or play a game? Like, what's your vibe?
What is your vibe, Dave?
What is your vibe? What do you
It's
like?
so hard to say because like I'm on like two ends of the spectrum. Like either it's gonna be an action/adventure game, or I'm playing like a romance game, or like something in between, like movies especially. I am such a
romance
action
game.
Episode.
Like, episode. That's true.
Please.
True. We're like there's romance elements, but like that's like most decision-based games are like romance games almost. Because like the whole thing is like, you know, make this your love interest. Choose the right question.
Like dating simulators and things like that.
Well, not even dating simulators. But that's a little bit too.
I
There's
used
no
to play
shame.
those.
No shame.
I did too. That's how I know they're bad for you. That's how I know they're bad for you. Mystic Messenger and all them other games. You gotta let those go. We gotta let those go. They put the
Very
community
fun for a
back.
while,
They're
though.
fun.
They are fun, but they put the community back by a little couple of steps. The woman community.
Oh, I get
They-
that.
They
Most of
definitely
them
set
are.
us back. They
Yeah.
definitely set us back a couple. You know, waking up at 1 a.m. to get a phone call from somebody who is not real is how you know you might have hit rock bottom. And that's okay. And that's okay.
Ooh,
And that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We have to break free from those. We have to break free of the dating simulators.
Day is
Your boyfriend, not your boyfriend.
Day is a
he's a
hopeless
robot.
romantic though. So.
I'm also a
You
hopeless
wish-
romantic, which is why it's so hard to break away from these things. I'm not proud, but I've spent lots of money on episode diamonds.
Oof.
Episode is different.
No, it's
Episode
not.
is different. I will give
Some
you
would
episode.
say it's worse.
No. Episode is interactive Wattpad. So in that case, and if we're looking at it like that, it's like you're really reading a book and you're paying for the book. See, because when you make those decisions, it's different like on a dating simulator where it's like you're supposed to be dating the robot in the game than on episode where it's actual story that you're making it move along
Yeah,
by
it's
bars.
educational.
Exactly. You got to spin it.
Look at this
educational.
delusion happening at the table
I
right
mean-
now. Episode is insane because they will make you pay for the most ridiculous options.
True.
It'll
And
be like,
I
wear a
stayed
dress and
paying
be
for it.
naked.
it's literally it's like
It's like,
do you
well, I
want to
can't
go
go
up?
in there being naked.
Do you want to go up
so-
and say hi to your crush, or do you want to pee yourself in front of the entire school?
Like what? And honestly,
Like, huh?
I appreciate the people who write those books because it's always so stupid. Like it's very entertaining. Like I got hooked on like one episode in particular. Like I was there. I would hit it as soon as it dropped. I had notifications on to tell me when the next episode. Like, didn't matter what I was doing. I could be
Please.
driving, pull over, and be like, "Let me finish this episode first." It's bad. It's
It
really
is.
bad.
They're very addicting.
They're
which,
very
I mean, they know what they're doing.
They do.
Because I was spending money on those diamonds. So,
Oh,
They
Yeah.
were
my
expensive
gosh.
too. They weren't cheap. I feel like they were like $5 for a
they add up.
value bag.
They add up.
Mm.
I definitely say, though, being a hopeless romantic has definitely influenced my media consumption for games. And then also, like, I love a good rom-com, although we could probably talk about this. I think rom-com as a genre, oh my gosh, cannot speak today, has kind of, like,
It's gone down.
dwindled down
Yeah.
a
It's
little
not
bit.
good
The era
anymore.
is
At
gone.
least the era's gone, yeah. But love a good rom-com. When it comes to like shows, I love a good like at least a little romance subplot.
Yeah,
Even if it's not
nice
like the main
subplot.
thing, like it's got to have a romance
Little
subplot.
zhuzh.
It's got to.
I think I look for in like any kind of media is something nice and cozy. Like I'm not looking to be too high stress.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to play games that are gonna like make me like
Definitely games.
want to cry
Cozy
and
Rage and
like all that
everything.
rage. Like people are like, oh, you're a gamer. Do you play like
League of
Overwatch? I'm like,
Legends and
no.
No, I play Animal Crossing.
Stardew Valley and Animal Crossing because
So-
they make me happy. Like just having my own little farm, being able to like, and those have romance subplots too, where you can go like around the village and like romance
That's
people.
true. That's
So
true.
you like build your own little family. I love like simulators like that.
I was just about to
and
say,
all
I'm a big simulator kind of gal.
Mhm.
Sims was my jam for
We
the
love
longest.
Sims. Love Sims.
Like, if I can just walk around, build a cute little house, like I'm
That's what I'm saying.
content.
That's all I want.
Yeah.
And like I think those games especially have the stereotype of being like girly games because they're not like
Kill each
particularly
other.
challenging.
Yeah.
But I'm like all the work like I've put in maybe 120 hours into Stardew Valley, just like building up my farm. And it was not easy. Like, I had
Yeah.
to hustle to get all the things I have on that farm. So I rebuke that stereotype that these games
I
are
rebuke it.
easy. I rebuke it. It's hard work. My parsnips, quality parsnips, because I paid for them. But yeah, that's what it, and then like when you talk about movies and stuff, I'm so all over the place. I love bad movies. I love a movie that's just straight up garbage. Like, literally one of my favorite movies is Shark Boy and Lava Girl, and that's
not a bad movie.
I'll
argue about that with you. I'll argue the effects might not be good, but plot wise it's there. Plot wise, if it was developed a little bit more, if it wasn't like Disney was like, here's $20, make it work. They actually gave it a Disney budget. That movie would have been spectacular. Office,
it's
Boss
good.
Office,
we can't
great.
talk about its potential though. We have to talk about it as it is, and as it is, it's not
I think
very
that
good.
the thing about it will always be seen through the lens of like how old we were when it came out. So there's always going to be like a little bias to love for it. So I feel like it's kind of hard to.
Yeah, but I don't know. But I'll still watch that movie like to this day. I'll still watch that movie to this day, and I'm like, oh, this is incredible. Like, it makes me feel so good. I love trash. I love a good garbage Netflix rom-com.
I'll watch it.
I'll watch it. No, never.
I'm like,
Hearts.
I'm a good, like, artsy kind of movie. I love a good art. I don't even know what to just like, and like weird movies.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind?
I haven't seen it. I've heard of it though.
It's like strange and artsy, and I love it so much.
Yes.
Like one of my favorite films.
The experimental films.
Yeah. Like again, and everyone's talked about this movie because it's great. But like Everything Everywhere All at Once, when I saw
still
that,
haven't seen it. I know. I
haven't seen it either.
What?
So I'm with her.
Okay, so I need everyone to bully them into seeing this movie.
I know.
Immediately.
Everyone already has.
Everyone really has.
It is so good, and it's so bizarre and weird in every kind of way. That's just like, it's like, if that's your kind of like, and it's artsy in a way that doesn't feel like pretentious. Like it still feels like it's coming off as like a down to earth movie,
authentic sort of.
It's so good. I love that movie so much. Yeah, see it as soon as you can.
I definitely need to watch
I will
it.
give you my Apple TV password.
It's on Apple TV.
I bought it.
Oh.
That's how good it is, though. I hate buying movies. I will never buy a movie, but I
have
bought
a
this
DVD
movie.
collection. I love buying movies.
Me too.
I
said I
love
had a DVD player and they booed me out of the room.
I have a DVD player too. I have a portable DVD player.
Me too. That's the thing. So many good movies are strictly like not on streaming services.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what I would do if I couldn't watch some of the movies like I grew up with.
Stomp the
the
yard.
Bratz movies. I have almost every Bratz
I have
movie.
the one where they get in a car accident. Do you remember that one?
Starring and Silent.
I don't know what it's called.
I think that's
they go to
what
prom.
That's what it is. I have
And
that
they get in a
one
car
too.
accident. I have that one on DVD.
You have to the ones that you don't have them on like streaming services. Like what I'm gonna do because like I'm not about to forget about these movies I watched when I was 10 years old. I'm gonna keep watching these, and that's why I have my DVD player.
I also like movies that I like. I mean, this is kind of bad, but even if it is on a streaming platform, if I love it, I'll buy it.
Yeah.
Like I bought La La Land, knowing good and well I think it's on Hulu, maybe.
But streaming services lose movies and TV shows.
They
So
do.
it's like,
You
I'm
never,
not
like,
paying for this
depend on
anymore.
it.
Yeah, like I'm not paying for this anymore. They're not paying for it.
Yeah.
anymore.
I think the only one I've bought like online, I bought Little Women.
That's also on Hulu.
Yeah, it's on Hulu now.
I've on like Hulu Premium. Like
Okay, see, I don't have
Yeah,
I don't
I'm
have
not getting
Hulu
Hulu Premium. Not gonna happen. Okay. So,
Guys, I don't know if you can tell that was a joke.
That was a joke.
That was a joke.
The topic for today, all right. CW shows and why they fall off so bad. We all know how CW shows get after like the third, fourth season. It just goes downhill. Why do y'all think that is? Why does that happen so often with them?
I think we should start with some examples of some CW
Yes.
shows that we have.
I wish I could remember that show.
Some shows that I've watched from the CW are The Flash, The Arrow,
Yeah.
Supergirl,
Yeah.
DC Legends of Tomorrow. I believe Gossip Girl started on CW.
I think so, yeah.
So I've watched that. Riverdale, which
I didn't
honestly
get past
deserves
season
its
one.
own
I
episode
did not get past
alone.
season 1.
It
Yeah.
was Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the
You're
Beast.
right.
Okay,
Beauty and the
cool.
Beast,
So the only CW show that I have fully finished, I believe, is Gossip Girl. And I did not obviously watch that when it came on TV.
Because we're young
I
and
was
youthful.
too young.
Exactly.
But I have started almost all of the CW shows at the Dynasty. Like I said, all of the DC shows. Like, I've started every single one of them, and then Never finish.
No, I remember back in like middle school, early high school, I was obsessed with the DC like CW shows. I was obsessed with them, and this was like peak time. It was like Flash season 3 and Arrow season 5, and all, when it was like at its peak. And I have not finished a single one of them. They're out there.
We live in downtown.
Yeah, they're out there saving the world or something.
Yeah, I know.
But it is interesting, like. All these shows start off so strong and like at such a grabbing pace, and then for some reason they just get awful.
It's
awful.
like the budget runs out, or they're like, we can't keep giving y'all money because this new show needs money. Like it,
Yeah.
And you can literally like see it happen. Like there's like an episode where everything changed. The light goes dim. The actors don't want to be there. It's choppy.
It's a clear shift.
Nobody's doing their job, and then they'll go on for like 4 more seasons. And then the last episode comes, and they'll be like, it's been good. No, it has not been good. It has not been good. I don't know what's going on with them.
It really sucks though, because they're so good at like creating new, exciting and interesting TV shows. And then the first season, amazing, wonderful like character depth and the story arcs. And then like season 2, season 3, it just slowly, I don't know if they're just running out of ideas or they start switching like writers. I don't know what's going on, but
I feel like the CW as a network is very much like quantity over quality. They're like, each pilot season, they're like, how many new shows can we put out right now? Like, they're not interested in continuing and building the stories they already created. They're like, we need to bring in new viewers. Let's put out all these new shows at once. And it's like a lot. And I don't know how big their team at CW is, but I feel like you can't ask these people to make 50 new pilots every year. It's a lot.
And then it's like, oh, let's see what sticks.
Yeah, literally. They're just throwing spaghetti at the wall.
There's about 1 or 2 that stick for way too long.
That's
the funniest thing, though, is that they'll cancel, like, half of them, and then there will be like 1 or 2 that will continue for 8, 10, 12 years.
That the Flash is still on. I got an Instagram the other day, and Grant Gustin was like, "Yeah, getting ready to film the last season of the Flash." I'm like, "That is still on? Who is still watching the Flash?"
The Flash started in 2016, I believe. I started watching it when season 2 had come out.
I was literally 12 when the Flash came out. Like, I've aged almost a decade, and this show is still on.
How old are you now?
20.
Let's see. I think it was 12. 2014.
Yeah. Oh, okay. My bad. I was like, you were 12 in 2016?
No.
Okay.
2014.
Correct. 2014. So, yeah, that's even longer.
2014. That's almost been 10 years.
10 years.
It's almost been on for 10 years.
And I can think of like 2 or 3 seasons that I'm like, oh, that's good.
See, okay, I'm a Flash fan, like, deep down.
Are you caught up, like, where it is now?
I stopped at season 6. I watched it on TV until season 6.
On TV?
On TV. Here's the thing. I was obsessed. And I just started rewatching it. And because I feel like I owe it to them to finish it out. I'm catching up enough so that I can watch. I am. So I can finish strong. But the thing about like season 6, season 5, you start to realize this like system that they have.
Yeah, it gets very
so repetitive.
The same thing.
It's boring. It's the same episodes over and over again. After like the 5th season, you're just like you recycling the exact same episodes.
They really are.
Literally.
But we just saw this.
I do think they're like really good at building strong characters though, because that's what keeps me like. I was watching because I loved the characters. Like they know how to build a well-rounded, 3-dimensional, 4-dimensional, whatever character, and they choose like really good casting for it. So.
I think what upsets me the most about these shows, and especially the ones that go on for like 8 or 9 seasons, is that they have to keep like manufacturing drama to like keep it interesting. So they'll build up these relationships for seasons and seasons, and they're like, oh, we ran out of ideas. Just break them up again. And I'm like, oh, please. I'm so tired. I cannot watch them fight and argue and come back again, and someone's almost going to die.
It's always someone about to die.
Always someone's going to die.
If they do, they'll kill them off, but at least for the Flash, they'll bring someone from a different timeline,
the
future.
No one's ever really dead.
No one's ever.
And honestly, I feel like the streaming services really pointed out a lot of CW flaws, because you will watch all their seasons be like, I saw the exact same episode about 5 times. I don't think they had it planned for people to go back and continuously watch the shows from other seasons.
Yeah.
Like, especially like, cause on TV, if you see it, it's just because they decided to stream a random episode. But when you have streaming services who put out the whole entire season, you see like, this exact episode happened 10 different times.
Literally.
In these seasons, like.
Especially when you watch like all of the shows back to back, and they all have like generally the same writing team.
Yes.
It's like, this is the same. I just watched Supergirl and Arrow and Flash back to back, and this is all like
the exact same show in different fonts.
Literally.
But I think it kind of shows that streaming services have definitely like taken a hit to TV in a way. Like they've
Definitely.
because you have to kind of raise the bar. Because initially, like when the Flash was coming on TV.
That was the best you could get.
No, literally. And these episodes were still repetitive, but we didn't know as much because we were watching it like week to week.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh my gosh, what's happening? Like the cliffhangers, whatever. But you watch it, like now I'm literally like binge watching it, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
I think we're in an era of like cinematic television where like like TVs are basically like movies split up into different things, and each episode is a completely different thing than the one before it. So you go back and watch like these network television shows that have like a contained plot each episode. It's weird because it's like, where are we going? What are we building to? 22 episodes of you fighting someone at the end of it. Like it's a lot, and it's a very different way of like television is made compared to today. So the fact that The Flash is still on is baffling to me.
Really
Who is I need people out there, please tell me if you're still watching The Flash.
It's me, guys.
On cable.
I do miss the 22 episode seasons though, because I feel like they brought something like you said, it's like a movie when you watch like the mini series and they're each an hour long, but there's only 6 episodes. It's like there's one plot throughout this whole season. When it gets to the end, you're like, dang, like this was like a week. Like this happened in like a day for some of these movies and shows.
I feel like
the Disney Plus shows, especially the Disney Plus shows.
With the streaming service like thing that we're talking about though, it's kind of hard for them to continue with the 22 episode thing because everyone's attention span now like we don't want to wait that long.
Although,
and then even like when you guys were saying that like the episodes get repetitive or whatever, like the way to kind of stop that and in like an easier format is to have less episodes and to like just contain it that way. So it sucks because I like that too. But I feel like it's with the platform that we have now.
I get what you're saying about like the attention spans and all that, but I'm thinking like Stranger Things. Like that last episode was 2 hours long. Like that could have easily been 4 episodes split up into that.
They could have done that.
It's ridiculous how long some of these episodes are now, and that's what I do like about like the CW shows. Is I know what I'm getting. It's gonna be a 45-minute episode. I know the ups and the downs. I know like it's a good comfort show to go back to because I'm not gonna be shocked by anything.
Yeah.
I think miniseries are good for like when you're trying to get something fresh off the ground. It keeps attention span small, But once like something has been distinguished and it's good and fans are gonna come back, that's when you can like 8 episodes, 9 episodes, 10 episodes. That's when we're like, put some more, episodes in here because waiting every week, knowing that it ends in like 6 episodes, is really lame. It's really lame, especially when you like the show.
I do miss like the culture around like that type of episode release of like every week getting on like Twitter or something and everyone's like, did you see the new episode of that was so cool. Like you don't really get that anymore. Like when something's dropped all at once, like people are talking about it for like a day or two,
and then that's it, and then you don't talk about it again,
and then we move on. Like I remember when like they were doing the crossovers and stuff, and you would see the trailers come in, and, like
so
in between the episodes. I was losing my mind.
Literally so excited.
Oh my god, I don't get that feeling anymore. So CW did that right.
That's true. I think I'm about to say something a little bit controversial.
Here we go.
I think CW needs to break away from the DC stuff because DC is too unreliable with the way they filter out their content. It's getting to the point, especially with like that new thing going on where DC cancel like almost whatever their thing is canceled. Like Warner Brothers cancel like all their shows.
Movie. They canceled that movie.
Yeah, I'm like, what in the world just happened? Like that movie was almost done.
Literally,
like,
it literally was like fully. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. And like their shows, what's that? The Titan shows. Yeah. Nobody knew if that was gonna keep going. Like they cancel their shows way too quick, or they'll let them go on for too long. And I'm like, I don't know if it's just because the CW and the DC got something worked out or whatever, but them shows that they have on there sometimes, where it's like the DC shows, it's too much. Something they either don't pay any attention to, DC be like, here, take the character, like, we didn't care about them anyway, here, have them. And then when they do start to make those movies or whatever, they're like, give it back.
Yeah.
Give it back. Like, that's, and I honestly think this is one of the reasons why the Flash might be ending. Now that they have like the Flash in DC and the actual cinematic universe, they're like, okay, you can end that now.
We want them back now.
Yeah, we just needed people to know about the Flash. So,
Yeah.
but now that they know, you can go ahead and give them back.
I agree. I think the era of DC on CW is done.
Especially I think
wrapped
because it was like a world, like the same actors were like crossing over and things.
Yeah.
And because a lot of those shows have ended, we don't really get that same impact anymore. Like there won't be the crossovers.
Literally.
Like, I remember it was so cool, like at the beginning of Flash, after watching Arrow, and you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Right.
But like that's not.
But that's
Arrow's
not
done. Like it's over.
Especially when you have things like the MCU and all that stuff. Like that's not something as novel anymore. Like that's not crazy to have a world within your
crossovers used to be crazy.
Like they used to be insane. It's like what?
The Hannah Montana. Like,
bro, the freaking Hannah Montana Wizards of Waverly Place. Who was it?
Sweet Life on Deck.
Sweet Life on Deck.
That was crazy.
I watched that until the CD like didn't work anymore. Like I watched it over and over again. And in my childlike brain, I'm like, how could they possibly pull this
how can
off?
they be in the same
How
world?
could they do this?
How could this be happening?
No, literally. And the studios are probably like next door, so.
Right. I'm
Richards
like,
and a pop singer who's really not a pop singer. Two twins on the cruise. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But that is a critique about how sometimes comic books, especially, I think crossovers obviously happen in comic books a lot more often, but the way, especially like Marvel set up their stuff, the first crossover was really Avengers, and like that was huge. So like once that happened, that was a peak. Mm-hmm. Then of course Infinity War, Endgame. Yeah. And it was kind of like, okay.
I think we're reaching fatigue a little bit of like that kind of storytelling. It's not as cool anymore. It's like
I think
the shows where they're not crossing over, actually.
Yeah.
Like Moon Knight was really good to me because Thor ain't show up in the middle of the
Literally.
fight. I'm here. It was really good to see a hero fight on their own.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how to describe it.
Like when people were talking about WandaVision, they were like, "Oh, I want this person to show up, and I want this person to show up." I'm like, "That's like only gonna be a distractor from the
It does kind of take away from the story, yeah.
And that's why, like again, Moon Knight, WandaVision, those ones are so good because they're their own self-contained story. There's not, I don't feel the weights of the MCU on those shows.
Which I think it's so nice that Marvel went with the like TV show route for a while. Because at first I was like, what are y'all doing? Like, what's about to be? But I think it just shows like how refreshing it has been because like we love Marvel, of course, we love all the films, but sometimes like after the era, like we were ready for something like fresh, and I think the TV shows definitely helped with that a lot.
Sure. So CW, well, actually the CW's done. Like it's going away. They sold it. They're like we're canceling all our shows on the CW.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it's done. They're selling the network. Mm-hmm.
Who are they selling it to?
I don't remember. Let me see.
It's been time.
Yeah.
It's been long overdue.
I think that era of just like week-to-week cable television and like the drama soapy type shows that the CW put out is like it's kind of dead and gone, unfortunately. Like, there's good nostalgia with it, but like
honestly, I think the only like, well, I could be wrong, but from what I've seen, like the most successful like cable week-to-week shows right now are like through ABC.
Yeah.
And like maybe some NBC. But, like, ABC is one of the only ones that has, like, fully just... CBS as well sometimes.
It's the comedy shows.
But,
comedy shows beginning to end. People still watch those. And it's the 22-episode seasons. Those work best with 22-episode seasons.
Like 30 minutes.
Yes. Cut it off. With the little
Abbott Elementary? Do you guys watch Abbott?
I love Abbott.
I love Abbott. I will watch it week to week.
Literally. But I think shows like that are successful because of things like Hulu and stuff. Like, I don't have cable.
Yeah,
I watch
it
Abbott on Hulu. Like,
yeah.
I can't think of a single person that I know personally who still has cable and is like uses it actively.
My parents
My mom.
Yeah.
That generation will not stop using cable.
Yeah, I wouldn't watch.
We are coming up on time, so is there anything you want to say?
We'll be back next week.
No,
stay tuned.
No.
This was just a little taste.
A little taste. It's like a little morsel. Bite.
So most of our episodes will probably be a lot longer than this, but we are unqualified working students. So We have to go.
We have to go. We have things to do, guys.
But thank you guys for listening. Thank you for tuning in. We will see you guys in episode 2. Thanks for
Bye.
listening.
Adios.